Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of our YarCrypto late night live show. My name is Groovy. As usual, I have with me here today our friend Sterling. Hello, Sterling.
Hello, hello. How are you? How are we doing?
Awesome. We have legal talent as well.
How you doing? Thank you for joining.
And with us here today, we have Theon as well.
Good evening, guys. Happy to be here.
What's up?
Awesome. So, yeah, today, guys, we have a bunch of stuff to talk about again. Um, so, we have our general TA on BTC and a lot of vaults as well. We saw some movements today on the market, especially for alts, but right now BTC seems to be moving. So we have some on chain as well after that, and some news to talk about as well. But let's start with some BTC action here. We just closed the daily,
Mhm.
and as you guys can see right now, uh, we kind of broke the channel that we had drawn here to the downside, unfortunately. Um, so we had this trend line drawn here for a long time now. Let me actually clear this up here. This bottom trend line that comes all the way from June 22, um, and it comes all the way back to right now. So right now we had this 4 hour candle, very bearish, um, break outside the channel. And we also had this kind of triangle here inside the channel that we had, because the price was getting squeezed in this area right here. So we also had this kind of triangle here. So
Yeah.
if we're gonna talk about some targets for these patterns, we could take more or less the same target both for the channel and for the triangle as well, because they are at the same level here on the top.
Yep.
So yeah, we can kind of draw a line from here to the bottom here, and then we have our target to the downside, which is going to be the 28k level, 29k, which was the bottom of the channel here, the wick from that
Yeah.
swing low that we had. So yeah, this is, if we're gonna talk only about technicals perspective, this is not looking very good right now, for sure.
And then the one thing that we do want to take note of, that and be careful of is that this is not like a fake out situation because we could see a wick on this next candle form. So we want to be careful, and definitely if we're going to be doing any kind of short positions, we want to make sure that we do have that target outline. But
Yeah,
yeah, so we're waiting for that to play out at the moment. Only time could
yes,
tell at
sir.
this point because we need to see if we can, either get back into this parallel channel and possibly back into this triangle, or if we're gonna solidify this diagonal previous, which was one support, as resistance.
Yeah. So I would say that right now, if we can actually zoom in a little bit more here on the 1 hour,
Hmm.
and I would say that the most probable trade that you can make here, if you are thinking about shorting it, is, if you're not shorting already from this kind of area here, I would say wait for a retest of this as a proper resistance.
Exactly.
um,
Yeah.
because yeah, as you can see, we on the 1 hour at least, we broke the channel pretty convincingly, with volume confirmation as well. So this is kind of textbook, but we still need to see this kind of level here being tested as a proper resistance level, so we can be sure that it's not a fake out, and then we can go back to our target here. Unless we just go down after this, and then, well, we can be sure then that it is a breakdown to the downside. But yeah, if we look at the daily now for BTC, we were making that retracement from yesterday. So this is the retracement from this high here to this low on the bottom. And as you guys can see, despite breaking the channel to the downside, we are still in the range of this 38.2 level. I don't know if it's even, yeah, my chart, I thought my chart was kind of bugged, but yeah, we are still in this range on the 38.2 fib level. So we're gonna see how the price is gonna react to this. And the 21 EMA is right at the price action as well. So this contributed as well for us to actually getting squeezed in this area. If I move again to the 4 hour here, you guys can see that the 21 daily EMA is right at where we are now. So yeah, we're gonna have to see how this area is gonna behave from now on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, continuing to Ethereum now. Ethereum is kind of suffering as well from the same thing that BTC is suffering. But Ethereum actually was looking better than BTC. But as I said earlier as well, the only thing that can keep Ethereum from overperforming over BTC is if BTC nukes, right, to the
Yeah.
downside. And yeah, it's not looking so good for BTC right now. So the same goes for Ethereum. We are at support right now for Ethereum at the 2,300 level. So we're gonna have to see how this is gonna play out as well. But if we do break down from here and follow BTC, then I would say the 2000s to 2K level is the most reliable support that we have for now.
Yeah.
So yeah, after that we're gonna have to reassess if we do break down from that, and trying to uh, draw some other levels here.
Yeah.
But at the moment, yeah, the 2K level is the most probable one, I would
And
say.
if I can pull up my chart here for Ethereum, we've been tracking it for quite some time now, and there's still this W pattern which has not been invalidated just yet. And sorry, give me one moment. And at the moment, as you can see, we have the daily chart here, and I have my EMA ribbons up. The blue one here is the 50 EMA arrow. So this blue line here is the 50 EMA, and the white one down here is the 200. So currently we are still consolidating within the range. It does look like previous daily candles have reacted to this dynamic support and resistance line. So what I would like to see is for us to get back above this line, and then start closing some daily candles before I'll get more bullish on Ethereum. But overall, the strength is there. There's a lot of bullish news coming out. So, only time
Yeah.
can tell. But
Right
overall, it is doing better than Bitcoin. What was that, Sterling?
right here we see that Jose Santos, one of the members of our community, said that ETH is on a rising wedge, so I suppose it would break down even without BTC dumping, right?
Yeah. So here's the thing about rising wedges. If we are talking about the correlation between BTC and Ethereum, then yes, then we could be pretty sure that BTC breaking down from its pattern, then we're gonna have to probably see a breakdown from Ethereum as well, right? So if I actually have a look here and clean some of this up, Yes, we can draw this rising wedge pretty clearly, to be honest. Um, from this kind of wicks there, here. Yeah, and then on the downside, we also have this support line over here, right? So yeah, and if we look here at the kind of stats for this pattern, it is a bearish pattern. Um, Let me actually look for it here. Wedges, uh, wedge ascending, rising here, right? So Bukowski here, he talks about the rising wedge, and he usually says that the breakout can be in any direction, but it's downward 60% of the time. Um, so yeah, it is a bearish pattern, but it's not guaranteed that
Yeah.
we actually is going to break to the downside. But if we're gonna follow BTC, then uh, it's most likely that we're gonna break to the downside. But yeah, we still have to see how Ethereum is gonna react to this BTC movement right now.
And I would argue that if we do break to the downside, that it's not going to be as much or as large of as a retracement that Bitcoin would have shown otherwise, because we have
Yeah,
been showing that strength and it's been holding up a lot better.
yeah, exactly. Especially if you compare right now, this is the 4 hour for Ethereum, and if you look at the same chart for BTC, it's kind of showing some strength against it. But yeah, we gotta be really careful right now, because
Yeah,
BTC is looking a little bearish.
and if we look over here at the BTC on the Ethereum BTC valuation, you'll see that it's been kind of on a rip, and it is making its distance in terms of Satoshi values. But one thing we do have to take into account is that the money flow indicator that I have here is the green line where the RSI is, and it is starting to get a little up there, which has the potential to form divergence, and we might see a correction here. But again, overall, especially when you think about the evaluation over the years period, um, Ethereum has been outperforming Bitcoin every step of the way.
Yeah. And if we talking about alts right now, we had a pretty nice run up from a lot of alts this past few days. And I released a video today about it as well. Um, and one of the coins that we have been talking about is the Aave, right?
Hmm.
With the news and with the new platform Aave Pro launching right now.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know if Theon have some odds to talk about, but I have a chart here on Aave, and starting at the daily here, I can actually I actually drew this kind of retracement here, and this retracement is from this swing high here all the way back to the bottom here, swing low. And as you guys can see right now, we are completely at resistance on the golden pocket, which is the orange zone here. And you guys can see that we try to get above it on the daily 2 times, but the selling pressure is just too much on this area. And now we seem to be breaking down along with BTC as well. So we have lots of confluence here on these areas. Um, so yeah, if you're thinking about shorting some of these alts, then this is obviously the place that you want to look for, right? Exactly at resistance. Um, so yeah, it's looking a little bearish for Aave right now. Uh, after all of this movement to the upside here. But yeah, we're gonna have to see how that plays out as well. Um, and another one that I talked about today was Luna. And Luna is basically at the same level of what Aave is doing, because we have been in this range kind of similarly to BTC in the last few weeks. And we have obviously our top resistance here. And we bounced kind of in this daily last daily candle exactly on that previous swing high here, and the selling pressure was too much as well from this area right here, and now we're seeing some downside movement for Luna as well. So yeah, a lot of alts currently at resistance
Yeah,
after
if I can bring up my chart really quickly,
yeah.
I have the ADA chart up, and it's another coin we've been following for some time now. We had this larger resistance line that currently has been flipped as support, which, if as you can see, was not an easy task. A lot of wicks, a lot of candles, a lot of fake outs. But currently, we are at support with this resistance line and support and resistance line. But the one thing to take note is, we are in this golden pocket of this larger retracement from the swing high up here on the 15th of June down to the 22nd of June. So, we are currently at the critical level. So we do want to see these resistance and support levels hold. And yeah, so that's what we have for ADA at the moment. We'll keep you posted
Yeah,
on that one.
yeah. If you guys are thinking about onboarding the train for some of these alts, then I would say be careful, because that train was took off a long time ago, and now it's kind of stopped at the resistance level. So
Yeah.
yeah, be careful when kind of trying to long or buying this kind of this alt right now, because the volatility is gonna kick in pretty soon. I
I have
think.
a coin actually breaking out right now.
Oh, yeah? Which one?
Yes, sir. Mana, aka Decentraland.
Oh,
So
okay.
currently, yeah, it's been going up really fast. So I think perhaps I do this on the 12-hour chart. This divergence that's still to come, possibly. But hey, if we end up piling through here, the divergence is invalidated. But yeah, it just broke through golden pocket support on the 12-hour, which is kind of important. On the daily, we are above the 50 EMA as well. Sorry, I have my other EMAs off. Let me. So the 20 and the 200. It looks like these two are about to cross. And if you look over the long run on the daily, we haven't fallen below yet. So we made our crossover in February. Well, a little bit before that. Yeah, start of February. And looks like we're gaining momentum again at the moment. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see where it goes.
That's quite
Yeah.
interesting because it has a very similar structure. That what time does that start? From February or March? That big swing high. That's something I
Right
want
here.
to. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
something I wanna-
start of March.
March. So it's been performing quite well against BTC.
Yeah, and it's crazy to see this upside for Mana while BTC is kind of nuking right now, right? Because
Yeah.
look at the downside for BTC right now. But
Right.
yeah,
Keep in mind, this
it's
is the
Yeah.
Mana to BTC chart. So
yeah,
Right.
if Mana can hold the buy pressure while BTC goes down, it will go up in BTC value.
Yeah.
true. Yeah,
The other thing too to keep into account is the RSI on that same very chart, the Mana to BTC chart. It's a little extended. So
It
Oh yeah.
is.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. So another alt that I was talking about is Solana.
Mm.
And Solana has been a favorite of mine ever since the beginning of the year, and especially for the use case and for the potential it has against Ethereum. And I was doing some TA on Solana as well, and we have a similar thing as well with Solana. We saw Solana make a pretty big move in the last few weeks as well. Constant upside here, and but right now we are facing some heavy resistance as well on Solana.
Yeah.
Same thing, golden pocket here at the 37, 38 level. Uh, got rejected from it on the daily, and now we are following BTC on our way down. So yeah, another alt that we could see some more downside. So if you guys are trading, um, be a little careful right now.
Yeah.
Um,
And if
so
I could
yeah,
bring up the EMAs on Solana 4 hour, we are currently on a squeeze here with the EMAs. We're set up for a potential bullish movement where the actual 50 EMA in blue will cross over the 200 in white. And that's actually an ideal situation. If you see here, every time we've had this cross, there's usually a nice follow through to the upside when that happens. So, it's something we want to definitely see.
yep, for sure.
So so that's the 21
Um,
day EMA, that white ribbon.
So the white one is the 200 and the blue
Oh,
one underneath it is the 50. We do have smaller EMAs here. I have the 5 and the 13. A lot of people tend to use the 20 EMA for the smaller
mhm.
time frames. But, one thing to, I guess, look out for is, we do have 34.5 would be area of support to look out for, for potential support. And if we break below that, then we start to really worry. But I would say we have this range to kind of trade in, and before we can start to worry about lower prices.
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, and also apart from all of this that I already talked about, we had alpha as well. Let me actually pull up the chart here because alpha, um, they, if I'm not mistaken, they made some improvements to the platform,
Mm.
and
And this was
if you
recently.
look, yes, it
Mm.
was. Also, I think they also added staking, if I'm not mistaken, but
Oh.
I'm not sure. But if you look at the daily here for alpha, this move is pretty impressive, to be honest, because ever since this kind of bearish candle here on the daily, on the 5 days ago, we have been seeing a 100% move from
Wow.
alpha. So that's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's a big move.
And this is following the news as well.
And this is just what,
Um,
4 days?
exactly, 4 or 5 days, 100% on alpha. So I would guess whoever is invested in alpha is pretty happy right now, right? Um, but yeah, if you're thinking about getting in now, it's kind of late because the
Yeah.
RSI on the daily here is overbought right now. So yeah, we may see some downside for alpha here. But
And
yeah,
the,
this
the way I
chart
like
is
to think of it is, we're trading, in the middle of the air essentially, and what you're
mhm,
looking for is to get on the train, and the train left the station. We're in the middle of nowhere, so you're
yeah,
waiting for some kind of support or resistance level to make a short or long off of.
yeah. The RSI on the 4 hour reached all the way to like 90,
Ooh.
91. So yeah, right now it's bearish divergence and stuff. So
See,
yeah,
but I would
but
also argue that that's actually extremely bullish for it to reach such levels, because usually in a bull market, we do test the 80 and above on the RSI. So what I would look for is when we come back down for a retracement, I would look for it to not go lower than, the 33 level on the RSI, because this is part of the, you know, bull market, bear market strategy on the RSI.
exactly. So yeah, pretty impressive stuff from Alpha. Um, I'm gonna bring. I think later I'm gonna bring some of the news that was happening for Alpha, but yeah, pretty impressive movement. Um, but yeah, I think I don't know if you guys have any alts to talk about as well, but I think we can talk about V Chain as well. It's one of the really like.